Guess what time it is?
It's Spritz O'Clock. Good afternoon, girlies, and welcome back to the Spritz O'Clock podcast, where each week my bestie and I talk about all things girl talk, navigating your 20s, and our best advice. My name's Amanda.
And I'm Rives.
And this week we are giving you 25 things that we learned before 25.
I'm so excited about this episode, especially. I feel like I was always getting this trend on my For You page, and I became obsessed with it. So we both turned 25. January and February. So here we are to give our advice.
It's our quarter life review. Like, I feel like today is all about reflecting, talking about the lessons we've learned, and giving our best advice for what we've learned these past 25 years. I cannot believe I'm saying I'm 25 years old out loud. It feels so mature.
I just feel old. And I know we're not.
I don't feel old, but I don't feel like young, if that makes sense.
We're just right there in the middle.
Like, I don't feel like a cute age anymore. Does that make sense? But I don't feel old either. I don't feel old. I feel like, you know how like 25 is old, but 29 is so young. But 30 is old, but then like 35 is so old.
35-year-olds listening to this episode right now.
It's how the age sounds. Like 23
that's
sounds
baby.
So young. 22 sounds so old.
I don't know.
Anyways, before we jump into today's topic, let's give ins and outs of the week. Let's get back on track here. Reeves, what's your in for us?
Okay, so my in this week is actually a little product. And I saw, once again, I was influenced on TikTok, the Let Me Focus gummies. It's Kourtney Kardashian's like gummy wellness brand, and they actually work. I was very hesitant to try these gummies out because I don't take Adderall or anything like that, but it is truly like a natural Adderall, would you say?
So I can't speak to the Let Me Focus gummies as much as some of the other Let Me products because I've only taken the Let Me Focuses one time, but I had a really good experience when I did. I took them on the day that I had to do like all of my tax stuff for influencer things, which has now been like multiple days because it just never freaking ends with the IRS, I swear. But anyways, I take the Let Me Sleeps all of the time. Life changing. You have to try them if you haven't tried them. The melatonin, it has like melatonin, GABA, I forget what it's called. Some other like vitamin, magnesium, I think.
Probably.
It's the best sleep gummy I have ever tried. And I've tried everything. And you know, I had a Benadryl addiction for a while.
She did. Does it give you weird dreams?
So here's my thing. I don't get weird dreams very often. But I think I'm so used to melatonin that I'm like immune to that now.
Yeah.
But when I first started taking melatonin, like if you have never taken melatonin before, first of all, these will absolutely knock you out.
Do you take one or two?
I take two, Max takes one, because I am like the little birdie that never goes to bed. Like I will be up for 20 hours a day. Like my mind does not stop. Like I will get tired, but I just simply cannot go to bed.
Can't relate. I take them not because I can't fall asleep, but because I need to ensure that I'm going to get a good night's sleep, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, I just have never had that mindset, but I love that for you.
Sometimes we just need to wake up with energy, but yeah, I love the Let Me Focus, so I'm going to try the Let Me Sleep.
We'll link them.
Yeah, we'll link them below. Okay, give us your out. I know you have one.
Okay, my out this week, and it's so funny. I was just on Kinsey Elizabeth's House Guest podcast, and we talked about this. I don't think the episode's come out yet. I think this episode will come out before her episode of House Guest does. But we were just talking about like bridal showers and baby showers, and y'all know those signs that people make at all the bridal and baby showers at the front door of like whoever's house that's hosting it. It's on a little easel, like almost like a little art easel, if you will. And it says like, welcome to Rives' baby shower. And it looks like a chalkboard. Like it looks so bad. Like these are so out to me. Like, I'm sorry. I have just never seen a font, or I have never seen someone's handwriting, unless you're getting like a professional calligrapher, that looks good enough to warrant getting one of these chalkboards. Everybody showing up to that party knows whose effing baby shower they're going to. I am so sorry. But, and then there's like all these people posing for pictures in front of this sign. And I'm just like, like the group photo with the little sorority squat in front of the sign, and then like the girls in the middle like holding her bump, or she's like flashing her engagement ring, and it's like, welcome to Amanda's bridal shower. If one of those is at my bridal shower, and I mean this with all the love and tenderness and kindness, and I don't want to offend any of the friends and family in my life if you're listening to this. If one of those is at my bridal shower, I'm literally turning around and going home.
So is it specifically the chalkboard, or is it the font?
The chalkboard's the worst one, but all these people, I mean, like, it is just like the worst font. I don't even know. They're going to like Kinko's. Is that even a thing anymore where you like
I don't know.
print out a big poster board? Whatever. If you're ancient like us, I guess. If you're 25, you probably know what that is. Like where you would go growing up to print out your school project where you had to present on a poster board. Anyways. It just looks so like icky to me. Like, I don't know why it looks so cheap. It looks like something Chip and Joanna Gaines would have, like, not to drag them, but like it just looks like Farmhouse Target. Like it looks like the Farmhouse Decor you would buy at Target. Like it gives the same energy. Do you know what I mean? Like they probably have like the rooster on the little pedestal in their kitchen.
You know what I'm also thinking of? You know, at Home Goods, they have that whole line with the just like, it'll be like a coffee mug. It says coffee mug in that awful black font. Or like cookie jar.
What? No, there's a company that makes those. Wait, Riz, I have to look this up really quickly.
It is so bad. I can't stop thinking about it.
No, I know who this is because what is that called? Like, I looked this up the other day.
I get a text. When is Amanda getting engaged? Her TikToks keep coming up on my algorithm.
Here it is. I have found it, everyone. This is the font and like the style and aesthetic that I'm talking about. It's called Ray Dunn. Is the person that designs these things at Home Goods and Target. You have to look up Ray Dunn Decor. It's RAEDUNN. It is so ugly.
Show the camera if you're on YouTube.
It is so ugly. Am I going to hell, Reeves?
No, they're terrible.
This is so mean. Like, this is off. It is so bad.
I got a TikTok and it was a like middle-aged woman selling her entire collection. Y'all, her whole kitchen, like counter, floor, all the cabinets were open with it.
People do not collect this.
Collecting this shit. It's horrible.
Someone needs to stop the suburban housewives. Stop the suburban housewives from collecting this stuff. It is so ugly. Someone needs to like show them Mackenzie Childs or something. Like I just am praying for everyone who is using that font for their chalkboards for bridal showers and baby showers and collecting Ray Dunn. And that is my out this week. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. What's your in?
Okay, so my out kind of goes along with the shower theme. I feel like these gender reveals have gotten out of control. I'm sorry, but what happened to the days where you just call your mom and like, guess what? It's a girl. We don't need to be blowing out confetti, hitting golf balls, and inviting everyone to the gender reveal. I guess it's an excuse for a party. And also one of my good friends did just have a gender reveal. So like now I feel kind of bad. But I'm not having a gender reveal.
I think this is what I think. I think there's a classy way to do it. Like there is everything in life. But a lot of them are, not that.
It's gotten out of hand.
Have you seen Sophia Richie's gender reveal? I mean, surprise, surprise. It's the classiest thing ever. But it's like
they're in the backyard with the dog.
Her, Elliot, and the dog. That's what I like. I like when the gender reveals are the parents and like nobody else. Like maybe the other kids that are older that are in your family, like your pets, like maybe the grandparents.
You know what I love?
What?
When a mom will post like the little boy, like their child with a little shirt that says I'm a brother or something, like, but in a cute like smocked way, not like a Ray Dunn font kind of shirt from Walmart, you know.
We're gonna start
Ray Dunn's coming for us.
We're gonna start referring to like these certain things, that these certain niche vibes that we get from certain social media snippets we see as like the Ray Dunn aesthetic. Like something about the like blowout gender reveal party with like
it's Ray Dunn.
Oh, but like what do people do that's so tacky? So much. Just so much.
Gender reveals. I I'm just thinking of like ratchet showers and like you know the vibe.
It is hot where we're going. That is all I'm going to say. Yeah,
There's
it's the Ray Dunn vibe.
There's a spritz o'clock bench in hell. It's warm up for us.
It's waiting for us, and it was put there by Ray Dunn. Ray Dunn, like, sent a messenger, like, from heaven down to hell to say, like, oh, will you warm this up for Amanda and Rives? Like, I got a bench with their name on it. Oh my God, we're not even funny. I need to, like, stop.
Oh God, I'm laughing so hard.
Anyways.
Okay, well, let's just end this on a positive note.
Okay, I have an in for us today, and this is actually like a way more normal in. It's a fashion in. Shocking, I know. I've talked a lot about this on my Instagram story and my TikTok recently, but I'm obsessed with FODA.
Love FODA.
If you guys do not have a FODA membership, you need to get one. If you don't know what it is, it's basically an online retailer where, yes, you pay to buy their clothes and you also pay to be a member to buy their clothes, which sounds like a horrible proposition, but trust me, it's worth the value because all of the clothes on FODA are made at the same manufacturers as like super high-end designer brands, but without the price tag. So it's like they get clothes from the same factories as like Alice and Olivia, Alexis, Reformation, Theory, Gani. I'm trying to remember Zimmerman, like crazy places, and they sell it without the retail markup. So a cashmere sweater that would be like $300 at Theory would be like $69 at FODA. And they would come from the same factory. So the stuff is incredible quality.
They literally have these same exact tags. Like everything is the same.
No, it's so crazy. Like, you know, when you shop at Reformation, if you order something online, it has that little tag that says like, if you remove me, I'm not returnable. And it's a brown tag with white font. Not Ray Dunn font. No, nothing.
Reformation font.
Nothing about that is even funny, but I had to make that joke. Anyways, but they literally have the same tag as the Reformation one. It's crazy. Like, you can totally tell Reformation is getting their clothes from the exact same place.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, I have the membership that's like $10 a month, and I think I pay annually. I'll link the website down below if you're interested. I wish I had a discount code, but I don't.
FODA needs to sponsor us.
FODA, I actually DM'd them on Instagram the other day, like seeing if they would sponsor me, but they haven't responded.
They will. We'll keep shouting them out. She influenced me. I love FODA.
Should we jump into this week's episode?
We shall.
So the way we're going to do this is Rives and I are each going to give 12 things, and we're going to alternate going off of each other. So like, I'll say one thing I learned, Rives will say one thing she learned, and then number 25 is going to be like a combined lesson.
I'm so excited about this. Buckle up.
Do you want to start?
Yes. So my first one is listen to what your family has to say about someone. They're usually never wrong. I have found this to be true time after time with friends, relationships, you name it. My family is usually never wrong about pegging people. And they obviously like have your best interest at heart. So why would they want to just, tell you how it is? So I feel like the same could be said for your really good friends, but I don't know.
Like, your parents would know if somebody's going to end up being a good friend or not.
Yes. Like, my mom's always like, I don't like love her. And then she's usually right. Like, we're not friends. Or you date a boy and your whole family hates him. Well, it just isn't going to work out,
My parents have been really good about having instincts about the people. Like, they've been right most of the time. But I also will say, I think this is so individual, and it depends on like if you have a close relationship with your parents and a healthy relationship with your parents, obviously. But I think for the most part, if you do have both of those things, your parents usually know best, and listening to them is probably the right thing to do, considering they've had more years on this earth than you.
Definitely. Okay, what's your first tip?
Okay, my first piece of advice is nothing good happens after midnight. And I think my grandma was the one who originally told me this, like back in the day. But looking back on my 25 years on this earth, I can 100% say there's not one single time that I went out with my friends where I wish I had stayed out past 12 a.m.
There's such a difference, even just like getting those hours of sleep. There's such a difference in going to bed at midnight versus like 3 a.m.
Like, nothing that has ever happened after 12 a.m. I have ever been proud of, Or B, have I ever been like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I was there. Imagine if I had gone home at midnight instead of 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. Like, I have never woken up the next day and been like, thank God I stayed out.
I know. I haven't either.
If anything, I'm always like, I am really missing the sleep right now. I wish I had gone to bed. I wish I had it late night at Taco Bell. I wish I had it slept at this guy's house. Like, all of this stuff. So my piece of advice to you is if you go home at midnight, you will never miss anything important. Like, the night is never going to get better after midnight.
No, that is so true.
It's just literally not.
No. Like, we need our beauty sleep.
Yeah. So that's my first tip. What about you?
I loved that one. Okay, so my next one is don't keep friends around who don't add anything to your life. Slash like celebrate your wins. So I feel like I've had friends in the past where they haven't celebrated my wins. Like, whenever your friend gets a promotion or something at work, literally I would like send them a Venmo for like $10 to get a drink or something. Like, this is so exciting. Or like, I don't know. I've just had friends where I feel like I just haven't been
treated the way you should have been treated, or like congratulated the way you should have been.
Yeah. And also ones that don't add anything to your life. Like, what's the point, you know?
Yeah. I think looking back, like, I've never thought, it's kind of like a relationship where I wish I had like stayed in that friendship longer.
Yeah.
Like, any relationship I've had that's ended, it usually was long overdue, especially with friendships, like especially with friendships. Yeah. And I also think that like this piece of advice is going to feed into a lot of other pieces of advice that we're going to give you today, because it really is all about like the energy you give out is what you get back, especially in relationships. You have to be just as excited for them as you would be for yourself, because if you want your friends to treat you like that, then that's how you have to act as a friend, which I know that's how you act as a friend. Like, anytime something awesome happens in my life, you're like screaming. You're like more excited for me than I am excited for myself.
It's very sweet.
And you deserve that back.
So. You do too. Amanda's like a good hype woman.
Oh,
like, she really hypes you up.
You're a hype woman too.
Oh my God, thank you. Hype girls.
Anyway, should I give my next piece of advice?
Yes.
Okay, my next piece of advice, and this is like super hyper specific to me, but I feel like other people could possibly relate. And it's, don't let anyone tell you that a hobby or interest is stupid, like reality TV, makeup, fashion, pop culture. People are just judging you for like being obsessed with that thing because deep down they're insecure that they cannot like authentically be interested in the things that they're interested in. And you never like want to be that person that's like, oh my God, please tell me you're not someone who likes the Kardashians, or please tell me you don't actually watch Desperate Housewives.
I hate that. Like, yeah, I love the Kardashians. What about it?
Yeah, like I love watching reality TV, and I feel like growing up, I was shamed a lot for liking these superficial things. And I felt like I had to change myself so that I could fit like what other people's idea of intelligent and well-rounded and down to earth and all of these other like, I don't know, words that people throw around that they really only say because they want to sound like something they're not, if that makes sense. Like, the people that are judging you for that are really just so caught up in sounding like intelligent and wholesome themselves. And they're like scared to be honest about liking those things.
No, totally. I feel like I was shamed as a young middle schooler for liking all of the beauty gurus and liking Juicy Star 07 and wanting to post YouTube videos. Literally, I posted YouTube videos when I was probably in like 6th or 7th grade. Got absolutely shit on. And now I'm so mad I didn't keep it up, you know?
No, yeah. And I think it's like all passions are valid no matter what they are. And I'm really speaking to parents as well. Like, if anyone who's listening to this is a mom, if your daughter's like obsessed with making TikToks, don't go to her and say, this is so superficial. There's something better you could be doing with your time. Social media is really shallow. There's more to life than like your looks. There's more to life than getting likes online. All of those lessons are true, but making it about the fact that that's something she like direct. All of those lessons are true, but like saying it in a way that is kind of like shaming the thing that she's deriving joy from is not going to make her like like other things, it's just going to make her feel insecure about the things she already likes. And I think, you know, social media was a new thing back in the day, so I'm not like trying to be hard on my parents. I don't know how I would have handled that as an adult who didn't have social media growing up, raising kids that do. Like, I feel like that's probably a really weird situation to be in. But yeah, all passions are valid passions, and stick to your guns and like what you like. Don't let anyone tell you differently.
I loved that one, Amanda. I agree. Okay, my next one is, well, I've talked about it on the pod, but I was obsessed with One Day, that show on Netflix that I feel like everyone was watching. And so I learned, always express your feelings and never wait, because you never know what tomorrow may hold. That might sound morbid. But like, for example, I'll give you all my example. So I have never regretted. I was in love with this boy. Sorry, I'm like jumping all over the place. I was in love with this boy literally for like 6 years in high school and middle school. And one day I told him, and he did not feel the same way back. But he's now married, and I can like happily sit here on my couch and know that I can never have to wonder if he loved me back. Like, I knew that he didn't, but it gives me peace of mind knowing I let him know and I express my feelings.
100%. Like, I think that just goes into the whole thing of it's always better to just try. You really have nothing to lose.
You don't.
My next piece of advice is remember that this is your parents' first time living life too. And when I say that, I mean not everything that your parents do and say is Bible. Like, it is okay to disagree with them. It's okay to have different like religious beliefs in them or political beliefs in them, or just like not ask their advice on certain things that they're probably like not experts on. I think growing up, we have this image of our parents that they like
know everything.
They know everything. They have the answer to life. Like, if my mom said it's okay, then it's gonna be okay. If my dad showed me how to do it, that's the only right way to do it.
Yeah.
Like, we all know that girl that like has to call her dad before like doing anything.
Is that me?
That's me. Like, I always say, I'm like, I would literally never even go like change my oil without consulting my dad.
No. Cars are like a man thing. Like, they know.
No, I don't even change a light bulb without calling my dad.
Which watch should I use?
Yeah, like,
which hue?
Hey dad, so I'm at Home Depot. Do you know, like, what? Are my light bulbs soft white? Or are they fluorescent? Like, that is literally me. But I think there's so much to be said for just kind of putting yourself out there, experimenting, realizing that like your parents are not always going to have the answers, and also not expecting them to. Like, they're just not always going to know. And it's okay to like grow up your whole life thinking one thing and like believing one thing because they told you that, and then change your mind. You know, like, you really have to go out there into the world and figure out what you think, what you believe, what you want to do, despite your parents', you know, thoughts.
I love that one.
Yeah.
Like, it's their first time living too.
So also have grace with them, I think, in there is too. It's like, if they fuck up, like, I mean, they didn't know. They've only been 52 one time, or however old they are.
Exactly.
Just like you've only been 25 one time. Like, they don't know.
We should get our moms on here and have their lessons.
Oh my God, that would be crazy. That would be fun.
I know. Okay, so my next one, I'm just going down my list. If you ever have to ask a guy what you are, they probably don't like you. Guys will make it known if they like you. So just don't waste your time, because I cannot tell you the amount of times I've wasted my time, my energy on wondering if a guy likes me when he literally couldn't care if I lived or died. And I'm like trying to make up these scenarios in my head. It's just exhausting. And I just feel like they'll make it known if they really, really like you.
I think it's also going off of the thing that says if he wanted to, he would.
Literally.
I wish so badly I had realized that sooner.
Me too. Like, it really makes me mad.
Because the difference in being in relationships with someone who really wants to be there and someone who doesn't is night and day. And it's like, when you're in the right relationship, you will realize like
what you'll realize your worth.
Yeah, your worth. And like, hopefully you realize that before relationships, but you know, it always doesn't work that way. Anyways, if he wanted to, he would. And if he's not, then
hit the road, Jack.
Yeah, you got better places to be and better places and better people to see.
I couldn't have phrased it better myself.
Yep. Okay, my next piece of advice is always say hi. If you see someone that you relatively know out in public, even if you're just an acquaintance, you've only met one time, it's always better to just go up, reintroduce yourself, shake their hand, give them a little side hug, like whatever you got to do, even if they're with like, I think, you know, some other people, unless it looks like they're in the middle of like, I don't know, a job interview or something, like go up and say hi to them. Like if you're in Mi Casina and you're sitting with your friend at a table and you see so-and-so walk by who's a girl you've met at a party like 2 times, you don't know if she saw you. It's so much better like on your way out from dinner, go find her table, like tap her on the shoulder, say hi, it's nice to see you. You never want to be that person where like the person that saw you, like y'all saw each other, they text in their group chat and they're like, oh my God, I just saw Amanda DeWitt out at Mi Casina. We made eye contact and she didn't say hi to me. So rude.
Even if you just make eye contact from across the room, literally just like smile and wave.
Yeah, I feel like that it doesn't even have to be like you exchange words. Yeah, it's just like an acknowledgement of their presence and like that you guys know each other.
Totally.
I just like never regretted saying hi.
No, and it's so uncomfortable. And like be the bigger person and just break the ice first because they're probably nervous too. You know, like sometimes people are nervous and don't want to talk.
Also, like if you're at a party, this always happens to me. Like I'm at a party and I'll like see someone in the distance and I don't know if I should go up and say hi to them. Like it's always better to just say hi to all the people in the room that you know. Like even if you haven't seen each other in years and like y'all went to college with each other but you don't talk anymore, like just go say hi to them. Like if you're thinking about saying hi, it means you should say hi.
Oh yeah.
Basically, like if you know them or know of them well enough to say hi, like go say hi. If you ever see me in public and we literally don't know each other because you just listened to this podcast, come say hi. I will be so excited.
Yeah. We love it. Okay, my next one is like very sweet. You'll appreciate this. Life is short. Get the dog or cat or fish or rabbit, whatever. Get your emotional support animal. Everyone knows I'm obsessed with my dog. She's great. She's not the most trained dog, but we love her. And I have never regretted getting her a day in my life. So I got her very spur of the moment and I do not regret it one bit. So life is short. Get the dog. If you're thinking about it, just get it. It makes your life so much better.
I agree. I don't think pets are for everyone, but if you're the type of person that's like consistently wanting a pet, get a pet. They add so much joy to your life. They're so excited to see you every time you come home to them. They just add so much value and fulfillment.
It's just unconditional love that you get.
It's also a really great way to like learn some responsibility and practice caring for a child. I know that sounds like really dramatic, but if you're thinking about having a baby, like maybe get a dog and see if that does it for you. Like that sounds so bad, but like after getting Muffin, I thought I wanted to be a way younger mom than I think I want to be because it made me realize real quick.
It's a lot of responsibility.
It's a lot of like, you have to be home more often. You have to forego sleep more often. Like you just have to.
You have to leave events to go home to the dog.
You have to train them. Like training them is not easy.
It's an everyday thing.
They test your patience like no other mother, like nothing else. But it's so worth it. I agree.
Yeah.
Okay. My next piece of advice is don't be the girl that's always asking for the Venmo. And I think I could have phrased this better, but bear with me here. Kind of going off the thing that Rives said of life is short. If you are like out with your friends at a group dinner, you and another friend decide to split an appetizer, girl from across the table asks if she can have like a few bites of the food you're having. Don't then, when like the checks come out, be like, hey, you had bites of the queso. Would you mind also splitting that with us? Or like if you are at a bar and I tell, like, let's say me and Rives are at a bar and I go, Rives, like, let me get you a margarita. And I say this when I'm drunk and then I buy us both margaritas. I'm not gonna like hit her with a Venmo request the next day because I offered to like get her the margarita. You know what I mean? It's different if I go, hey, Reeves, do you want a margarita from the bar? I'm going up there, so I'll get one for you, and then maybe you can Venmo me tomorrow. Like,
preface it.
Yeah, preface it if you're gonna hit them with the Venmo request. But I really think life is too short to be worked up about these like little pennies here and there, especially with your friends and family, like people you trust.
Well, it all comes out in the wash.
Like, and honestly,
they're gonna get you an Uber.
It's not, look, you might have brought her a margarita at Mi Casina, but then she called y'all the Uber home, you know? So it's like, it's just not worth being the like petty friend who's always searching for like, you know, money back on stuff. Like, it really does all come out in the wash. And like, I think that also goes for like birthday gifts and like housewarming gifts and stuff like that too. I can't tell you the amount of people like I've gotten them a present in the past for their birthday and they haven't gotten me anything on my birthday or something like that. The whole point is you're doing it out of the kindness of your heart. And not because you're wanting something in return or you're wanting to like even the score somehow. You know what I mean? Like, that's not the motive there. And I just wish that like, I don't feel like I used to be that way, but just like stingy is never a good look. And I've always regretted the times where I've like chosen to be stingy.
You know, I'm like, I shouldn't have done that. Like I feel icky.
Like, remember in college or high school? Sorry. Yeah. Newsflash. I drank in high school. When you would like split alcohol with someone or like somebody would like go get wine for wine night and they'd have like a glass of your wine from your wine bottle and you'd be like, okay, well, Venmo me $5 because the wine was $20 or something like that. And I'm like, why did we do that? Like, that was just so much unnecessary stress.
It wasn't even our money.
Also, it wasn't even our, I know. Like, and I do get like there are some people that like don't have an allowance in college and all of that stuff. And like, look, bottom line is like, don't offer to buy things when you can't afford them. Like, don't offer to share your wine with your friend if you're also going to ask them to Venmo you for it and stuff like that. Like it's not it's bad about being like upfront.
Yeah. I'm always like, at the end of the month, I'm like, y'all, it's the end of the month. Like, sorry, Amanda, I can't get your margarita tonight. Like, usually I would, but like, make a joke out of it.
Will you split the Uber with me? Like, let's make this. Don't the next day after you called the Uber for everyone, like Venmo request and be like, oh, well, like, can we split the Uber? Like, it's just about like saying it like in the moment and like preparing everybody so the next day they're not getting a bad taste in their mouth.
Like, why did she send me this Venmo request?
Yeah, or like it's like I don't know. I just think there's like a classy way to go about things, and it rubs me the wrong way when people like in the afterthought are like, actually, I probably could get some money back for that bowl of chips and queso we got. Wait, you know what I mean? Like, that's how it comes off.
Yeah. That's like so funny we're talking about this. I literally got a Venmo request today from something from like last Thursday, and I'm like, okay, you've missed your time.
You have 2 days. I think you have 2 days.
2 days
to Venmo request people. Like, here's a perfect example. Me and my friends just went to Fredericksburg. I picked up the bill for our Hondo's dinner. I'm not even gonna lie, you guys. I was hammered when I did this. And I was going through my credit card statement and I realized it today. Y'all, we went to Fredericksburg over a week ago. No way in hell am I gonna go, hey, by the way, y'all, can you Venmo me, Claudia, can you Venmo me for the hot dog that you ordered, the $5.99 hot dog? When also, I know she bought our gas on the way there.
Yeah.
You know, someone else picked up Sonic that we got on the way home.
It all comes out.
They didn't Venmo request me for those things. So yeah, it's like, it really like, it evens out.
Yeah, it does. Okay, that's
anyways,
a good one.
That's all on that subject. Reeves.
Okay, my next one is take the trip and be spontaneous while you're young. You'll never regret. Okay, sorry. Most of the time, you probably won't regret taking the trip or like going to the concert or doing all these things while you're young. So I feel like you should just travel a lot. And like, for example, I really wish I studied abroad whenever I was in college. But like, this is the time in your life where you have the least amount of responsibility. Like, yes, I have a dog, but I don't have a baby, you know, like,
yeah. Like, you probably don't have a dog. You're probably not married. You probably don't have kids. You probably don't own a house. Like, all of these things that are going to happen for you in the future, while it's important to like save money for all of them, absolutely, and whatnot, like having these fun experiences while you have the time and energy is also so important. Like, you don't want to go to Europe when you're 80 for the first time. You know what I mean? Like, prioritize that stuff now while you're young. I think travel is so important while you're young.
I do too.
Also because it like makes you learn things about the world and like other cultures and just like less of like an ignorant human. Definitely. Which is like so important.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a good one. Don't take advice from someone you wouldn't switch lives with.
Love this one.
And wowie. I think this is something I did not learn until my 25th year, like maybe my 24th year. Like in the past 365 days, I learned this. Not everyone's advice is always valid. And this kind of goes off of the parent thing I was saying earlier. Like for me, I post videos on TikTok. I'm like a TikToker, right? I am not going to take advice like on my content from a friend who doesn't have social media or from a friend that like doesn't have TikTok or doesn't post or isn't in the same world as me because she's not going to know. And while she might be your really close friend, there's just certain things that like they can offer advice on that are warranted and certain things that are not. Like, you know, like your friend that's in the toxic relationship, she's not the person you need to listen to for like boyfriend advice.
Yeah.
Like stuff like that. Like, or the girl that's like getting a new friend group every 2 months because she can't keep a friend. Like, she's probably not the person you're going to go to when you and Sally Joe have a big falling out.
And I feel like it also goes the opposite way around. Like, I wouldn't take criticism from someone I wouldn't take advice from.
Yes. And that's kind of what I'm saying too. Like, don't listen to people's opinions if you literally would not switch lives with them. Like, I think about girls who like, you know, have like more followers than me and like bigger communities and bigger brand deals and like cooler lives than me. And like, if I'm like, oh my God, yes, I would do anything to be in their shoes. That's who I'm going to go to when like I need advice or like, that's who I'm going to listen to like, and take everything they say, you know, seriously. But like people who, you know, don't know what's up, it's not worth listening to their opinions.
Totally.
And I think I've spent a lot of time listening to people's opinions that didn't matter in the end game because they didn't even know what they were talking about.
I feel like that happened to me too. So that happens to everyone.
Yeah. Anyways, be better than us, Rives.
Okay, little lighthearted one. Go up to the guy at the bar and flirt. You're never gonna regret it. I mean, unless they're like married and have a ring on their finger and have a girlfriend and you get shut down, but like laugh it off and walk away. I love a little flirt moment at the bar. So I feel like it's very fun and you're never gonna regret it. You never know what's gonna come of it either. So
I'm so that team. Like, I'm
just be forward.
Just go. Like, here's my thing. If you want something, you can't expect that other people are gonna like figure out what you want.
Yeah.
If you want to hook up with a guy, if you want a boyfriend, if you want, you know, a certain person to pay attention to you, go up and talk to them. You have to take it for yourself. You have to make it happen for yourself.
Like, no one's gonna do it for you, usually. I mean, unless you're me and I try to like pimp out my friends. So,
and I think that also though, like going back to the guy in a bar situation, I'm a little bit more shy in those situations. And like, I know I'm not single, but like what I would do in that situation is first I would be like super smiley and like talking to his friends and then like see if he comes up to me. And if he doesn't, and make eye contact and like wave and like maybe even like go order a drink at the bar like next to him in his vicinity. I would put myself in specific positions and like be doing certain mannerisms to attract his attention. And if that didn't work out, then I would go talk to him. But like really any way you want to go about it works. But I'm saying do something. Don't just sit back with a frown on your face and cross your arms and have horrible body language and expect that he's going to come up and talk to you.
Like, no one likes that girl.
No one likes that girl.
What's your next one?
Oh my God, are we mean on here? Like oh God.
I love it.
The problem is when we're talking to the camera, I really just tell it how it is. Like, if it was like my friend, I'd be like, oh no, you're not doing anything.
We'd sugarcoat it.
Like, yeah. Or I'm like, stop crossing your arms at the bar, put a smile on your face, get out of the corner, Karen, and go say hi.
What the hell are you doing, Karen?
Yeah. Anyways, okay, going off the little like boy number, this is something I wish I had learned a lot sooner. And that is that you cannot make someone love you by giving them more of what they don't already appreciate.
I love that.
And I, in my youth, was in a lot of relationships. Not a lot, like 2.
Like a lot.
like too with guys that were always like cheating on me with other girls. And I would always think that the answer to fixing our relationship was giving them more of my time and my energy. And I would put the blame on myself. And I would say like, oh, I'm not being a good enough girlfriend. I'm not like showing up how I should be showing up. We need to spend more time together. I need to buy him this gift. I need to ask him on this vacation. I need to, do XYZ stuff in order to show him that I really care and that I'm like worth being in the relationship with. And then once I do all of that stuff, he's going to see my value.
Mm-hmm.
And this is such a silly, silly mistake. And the truth is, if they do not see your value from the get, they are never going to see your value.
No.
Like they will continue their bad behavior. There's nothing you can do to change them. And I know that's something that's said so often, but I really think like, I really encourage you to just think really hard about it and like, walk away if you're in that situation, because nothing is going to make them see your value more than not giving them what they don't deserve to have, which is you. And I also will say this. Once you give a boy something, you can't take it back. And I think when I was like in high school and college, like this is something that I didn't really think about always, because if you hook up with a guy, then like they're going to expect that certain behavior from you. Like if you go home with them the first night you meet them, and there's nothing wrong with that. I just also want to preface, like, especially as a woman now in my 20s, like if I was single, I don't even know like how I would be. I'm talking about like my high school self, like teenage self, like early college years. Like I would just really encourage you to think about like what your boundaries are and what your standards are, because once you like have sex with somebody or you go home with somebody or you hook up with somebody, like they
expect that
from you. And like you cannot take back what you have already given away. Like once you give something to someone, you can't like be like, oh, actually now I don't want to have sex with you anymore. I know we had a one night stand like a few months ago, but now like,
yeah,
you can always do that. I just think it sends mixed signals. And I would just encourage you to be like very thoughtful about the access that you give to other people, like the access of yourself that you give to other people.
Also, guys love the chase. So
100%. Also
like
that.
they love the chase.
So yeah, just don't give other people what they don't deserve. Make them work for it, because you're worth it.
My next one is learn how to love being in your own company, learn how to love being alone, the whole 9 yards. I love being alone. I live alone. I feel like it's a very transformative thing. And I used to be like always have to be surrounded by all my friends. Like I couldn't go grocery shopping by myself. I would never go sit in a restaurant by myself. Like I would never do anything by myself. And now I almost prefer it that way. I'm so set in my ways now, but it's just a good way to learn a lot about yourself and learn what you really enjoy. And I don't know. I just feel like it's really important for you to learn how to love yourself and learn how to love being alone.
Yeah, I agree. I also think like you're going to be alone at some point. It's better to have a relationship with yourself and get to know yourself like from the get than it is to be forced into it because like your friends are getting married or having kids or like whatever it is. Like having a relationship with yourself is so important, and the rest of your life gets easier when you know yourself better.
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay. This one kind of goes off of that. I'm going out of order now, but Tinks always says this, and it's something that like when she said this, it changed my brain chemistry. And it was like, notice how they make you feel.
Yes.
And she talks about like when you're leaving a group dinner with friends, like when you get in your car, when you get home, whatever, do a little check-in with yourself and be like, how do I feel after that social interaction? Like, do I feel drained? Do I feel inspired and motivated and loved and happy and fulfilled and all of this stuff? Like, do I feel joy? Did I laugh a lot? Do I feel like I'm a better person after I left? All of this stuff. Or do I feel like I gossiped a ton, like my social battery's empty, and you can even journal. This is such a good thing to journal about. But when I was like, kind of trying to reassess what certain friends were going to mean to me at certain points in my life, and this is like a recent thing I've started doing too, but whenever I would get home from going to a dinner, I would write my journal and be like, just left dinner with so-and-so and so-and-so. had a great time, but I don't think that this needs to be like a weekly thing or a bi-weekly thing. I think these are the type of friends I could see every few months because while it's nice to catch up, I feel like our values, you know, aren't entirely aligned, and they kind of like talk shit about other people maybe more than I feel comfortable with, or they're focused on like certain things that like I don't really, you know, value, or, you know, I'm just kind of making stuff up right now. But I would write kind of things like that, or I would say like I feel very like exhausted after being with those girls, but I still love them, and I think it's nice to catch up every once in a while. And I just think like, you know, taking the time to be self-aware about those things will save you so much like grief and worry and wasted time down the road, because like 10 years from now, you're not going to like look back and think, wow, I spent a lot of time, because time is so precious. And that's like a big lesson that I feel like it's just an overarching theme in this episode. Like, you know, you don't want to ever look back and be like, I spent so much time investing in people that really didn't fill up my cup. And I feel like this little method prevents that from happening because it makes you think and it makes you self-aware, and you just have to like notice how they make you feel. That goes for boys too. And your family, honestly. Like, how much time do you want to spend with your family?
That's a good one. I love Tinks. Everyone knows I love Tinks. So, okay, my next one is talk to everyone. You never know who you're going to meet and where. And like the first thing I think of is like talk to the person next to you on the airplane. Like, I have some crazy airplane stories. But I feel like I'm always talking to people and like networking no matter where I am. And it's really helped in the long run. And I feel like whenever you put yourself out there and like truly talk to people, good things will come your way because they'll want to help you. So they're like, cannot believe I met the cutest girl at Foxtrot. She was so sweet and cute. And maybe she'll help you down the line, you know? So that's just my advice. I have found that it's super helpful. So
that's such a Rives one. But really, like, I think about the Chelsea Park thing.
Yeah.
You always have the connects. And it's because you put yourself out there. You really do.
Yeah. I literally was like, give me your cell phone number so you can come on the pod.
Like, I really think about that. Like, it really has gotten you so far.
Yeah. I try to always talk to people. So I'm always trying to talk to the people in Mi Casina and say hi, because you never want to be that girl.
You never want to be that girl, and you never know what door it's going to open.
Exactly.
Okay. My next one is, okay, so y'all remember the lucky girl syndrome trend on TikTok? It's basically that, and it's that you should give off the energy that you want to attract, and vice versa. Like, you will receive the people, circumstances, places, money, relationships, blah, 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 in your life that like you attract. And if you are always like,
I had the worst luck.
Yeah, if you're always telling yourself like, oh, I'm so fat, like I'm so lazy, I am not the type of person that works out, you're never going to feel motivated to get in the gym. Like, you have to reframe everything to be in a positive mindset. And that's really like what lucky girl syndrome is. So this is my example of that. Every time I pull into a parking lot and I see that it looks super packed, and I, for one split second, think I'm not going to get a parking spot, I immediately tell myself I'm super lucky and I always get the best parking spots. And I swear to God, 9 times out of 10, I get like a random front row spot in front of like a super crowded restaurant on a Friday night when everyone else is like having to valet their car.
I'm going to do that.
No, it's like the best little hack. And I'm saying like you have to apply that to every area of your life though. Like, if you're walking into a blind date, be like, I'm super lucky. Like, every guy I go on a date with ends up being smoking hot or something like that. Or like ends up being super charming or falls in love with me or whatever. Or, you know, it's just like, if you embody that energy, those are the circumstances you're going to end up attracting. Or
it's
like,
so true.
I'm super lucky. I always like have money come to me in unexpected ways or things like that. And then before you know it,
that in my mirror.
Yeah, before you know it, your like situationship puts a $100 bill on your birthday card, or like, you know what I mean? Or it's like one of your friends Venmos you, how you said earlier, like, oh, if one of my friends got a promotion, I would Venmo them, or like something like that.
If I couldn't go to drinks.
Yeah,
I love doing that. Yeah.
Like, random stuff like that happens to me. I swear to God, because I literally manifest it.
I know. Okay, I'm going to start manifesting more. Okay, well, my next one is call your family and friends and make an effort, especially if you don't live where they live. I have a morning conference call with my aunt and my cousin every single morning, and we unpack a lot, but I stay caught up with them. I call my mom and dad every day. I call my grandparents. I try to call them like at least once a week. I try to call my friends that don't live in Dallas. Like, the hardest part is keeping up with people and like keeping your friends. I actually saw this on TikTok the other day. I was like, that's so true. It's easier to make friends than keep them because you have to like actively
100%
work on that relationship. And so I think just like literally, you don't have to have a 45-minute phone call. You can literally send a voice memo, or you can literally just text like your best friend and say, oh my gosh, I've just remembered the time we literally would stalk the Deke house and walk down University Boulevard in Tuscaloosa. Like, ha ha ha. And I don't know. I just feel like it's good to make your friends know that you're thinking about them and stay in touch.
You're so good about that too.
Try to be.
You can set reminders in your phone. That's a random one, but like you can literally set reminders in your phone or in your calendar to just be like, call a friend today, or you can make it a part of like a monthly challenge. Like maybe the entire month of April for an hour on Fridays, you're gonna like try to FaceTime people or something, you know, like make it, you know, hold yourself accountable, but make it fun. Okay. My next one is the secret to success is in your daily routine. Get daily habits that you can actually stick to and that move you in the right direction. I think a lot of times people look at successful people and they think that they're like some overnight success, especially influencers are my favorite example. They're always my example on here because obviously it's very relevant to me in my life. But, you know, Alex Earl or Dixie D'Amelio or someone like that blew up on TikTok overnight. Everyone always thinks it's like this one big sweeping effort. Like Alex made a great series of Get Ready With Me videos for like a few weeks, and then that's the reason she's famous, when in reality she was posting content on TikTok and Instagram, you know, trying to get brand deals, trying to have a manager sign her, trying to do all this stuff for years.
No, totally.
And it really is like the little things, or like all of the years of dance lessons that, sorry, not Dixie D'Amelio, Charlie D'Amelio. Charlie D'Amelio did. And of course, she's not the world's best dancer. I'm not saying that either. I think she's very talented. Like, do I think she's the best dancer in the world? No, but she, yes, was in the right place at the right time, but also put herself out there, had a lot of years of practice of showing up probably after an 8-hour school day when she really didn't want to. All of that stuff adds up is what I'm trying to say. So like if you make it to your yoga class every morning, like you're never going to have to get in shape for spring break because you'll always have the spring break body. Or if you study a little bit every day for your test, then you're not going to have to pull the all-nighter the night before and stuff like that. And I really do think the little daily habits, for me, the one I struggle with is keeping my house clean. Like if I were to just get in the habit of doing the dishes whenever I see them in the sink and making my bed every morning, then I wouldn't have to do what I'm about to go do after this podcast, which is a giant deep clean of my house. Because every week I let it go to shit like Monday through Wednesday or Thursday or whatever. And I don't do the little things to like pick up the clothes off my floor.
Yeah. See, that's like the one thing I am good at.
Yeah, you are good at that.
I feel like Ed Milet and Jay Shetty have like really good podcast on this. So if you're like more interested in daily habits, also Lauren Bostic on the Skinny Confidential.
Lauren Bostic is who I've learned so much of this from.
Yeah, she has great solo episodes. So y'all should go listen to those.
That and the book Atomic Habits. That book, like really reading that book made me realize that like all the major successes are really rooted in your daily routine. Like who you are, like in your morning routine. Doing something consistently on a daily basis adds up over time and it compounds to like make the bigger result.
Yeah. Well, my next one is don't live beyond your means. And I've learned that the hard way. So don't live beyond your means. Don't try to like ball out just to impress like a new friend or whatever. Like your friends are going to love you for who you are. And you don't need to just like ball out and spend all this money just to impress people. And I don't know, I just feel like when you live beyond your means, it brings like a level of stress to your life when you get the credit card bill in the mail. So don't live beyond your means. And yeah, that's my advice.
I think in the moment, it's like for me, it's always the online shopping. I think like if I have this outfit or if I have this thing, then I'm going to feel like more beautiful, more powerful. But in reality, it's like not having control over my finances is what makes me feel powerless.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? It's like you think you need those things in the moment, and then really you would feel so much more secure if you felt like okay with your credit card bill.
Exactly.
Like, y'all all know my credit card's in retirement.
Mine are locked up. So
mine are literally locked up. Like my credit card is fully locked up. Has been.
I'm like a strictly debit card girly because I can't be trusted.
No, wait. I didn't know you made the switch.
Mm-hmm.
I'm strictly debit card, and like I have no shame in saying that either. I feel like I've said this multiple times on this podcast. I'm not responsible enough. I still have a credit card because it hurts your credit card score to cancel a credit card, and I do have a few things that are like recurring charges on that. But I mean, like. The balance I'm paying on my credit card every month is like under $1,000, like for sure, because I don't trust myself. Like I literally don't trust myself. No. And a debit card, it's like impossible to go into debt. That and this can be my next tip is if you just set up like an automatic, like, okay, I call it this because I don't know the proper financial jargon, but like rent payment to yourself every month, then you don't have to worry about like saving. When I get like income and I know it's bigger than the amount of money per month that I want to save, and my situation is different because I get paid in like large lump sum payments from these brand deals, right? Like I don't get like a bi-weekly paycheck. So sometimes it's like a lot of money, and then other months I'll go a whole month where I don't see like $1. It's never that dramatic, but like where I don't get paid nearly as much. So every time I do get paid enough, I will like automatically, like without even, it's like a reflex at this point, just put that. I have a high yield savings account, and that's what I do everything through. I also have like bought stocks in the past and stuff, like some index fund stuff, but like I'm not really into that as much anymore. I just do a high yield savings account because it's so easy for me. Like on my little Chase app, I can like transfer money between accounts. It takes 2 effing seconds on the mobile phone app.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like the way I know I'll actually do it. Because if it requires like all these hoops I got to jump through, I'm going to spend that money before I save it.
I have mine just like on auto draft or whatever. So every time I get paid once a month. So at the beginning of every month, I just know that that's coming out and that's going into my savings. I have to, because otherwise I would not transfer it. I have to have it. So like props to you because
I just don't even have that option. But like if I had a salary still, I would do that.
Yeah.
Mine is like pretty much automated because I will just like, I get paid almost everything through. Well, it's so much more complicated working for yourself. It's so much more complicated. But like even on PayPal and stuff, I'll like separate it out and I'll like leave it in my PayPal until I transfer it to my savings. Because if I put it in my regular checking, it's gonna be like game over. It'll get spent.
Okay, so my next one is wear what you want to wear. Who cares? I feel like this just like goes back to my middle school self. Like I was literally bullied for wearing Juicy Couture tracksuits and Juicy Couture purses. Who cares? Literally wear what you want to wear.
Yeah, it really doesn't matter.
It like makes me so mad when people comment on like your outfit. Yeah, there's a difference between when you're showing up to like El Braco and pajamas and your slippers, but like
someone's personal style.
Yes, it just like drives me crazy. So it's 2024. I don't understand why people are still doing that.
Also, do you want us all to be the same?
Yeah.
Like, that's what I don't get. It's like everyone's so worked up that this person wore that thing. It's like, I'm glad that we have individuality.
Yeah. Like, who cares if a girl's wearing plaid shorts with a striped top? If she's confident, she probably looks cool. And I don't know. It's like you think of the girls in the airport.
I mean, look, there's a difference between like buying Ray Dunn decor. Reeves, I'm not gonna like the whole time I'm thinking about the fact that we just like shat on Ray Dunn. Okay, like if that is your decor style, here's my other thing. I think everyone is entitled to their opinion. And just because I hate Ray Dunn decor,
you don't have to hate Ray Dunn decor.
Like, if you want that at your baby shower, more power to you. Like, there's nothing I love and respect more than kind of what you were saying, someone being authentically
themselves.
But like also that would never be me with Ray Dunn. Would never ever be me.
Ray Dunn is going to be our Roman Empire on this podcast.
But you know, like, God bless Ray Dunn because
she's giving us content.
Ray Dunn is giving us content. And also, Ray Dunn, you know, really made that shit. Like, Ray Dunn thought, is Ray Dunn a girl or a boy? I think it's a girl, probably.
It's a girl.
Like, Ray Dunn looked at that and said, damn, that looks good. And I love that for her.
She's like, hell yeah.
I bet if you go to her house, it's
Ray Dunn up. You're so right.
Okay, my next lesson is thoughts become things. Going back to more serious topic. Why are all of mine so freaking serious? I'm like not that serious
They're
of a person. This kind of goes off of like you attract the energy you put out type of deal, but specifically in self-deprecating humor. I don't want to be the party pooper and say you can't make fun of yourself, but I think you have to be very cautious when you're poking fun at yourself because you never want to do so much that you actually start to believe that narrative.
Mm-hmm.
And you need to remember that like thoughts become things. What you think is what you attract and what will become your life.
Totally.
So like if you think you're a lazy fat mofo that never goes to the gym.
Lazy fat mofo. Holy shit.
Bye.
Don't be the lazy fat mofo in the gym. Like you're never gonna go.
Don't tell yourself that you're the lazy fat mofo. The thing is, like, if you're always like making fun of the fact that you could never get a boyfriend, even if it's strictly like in having fun, I know this sounds so extreme. I do think that is going to manifest into your life. Like, you can't even poke fun at the fact. Like, you could occasionally, maybe. I'm just not a huge fan of self-deprecating humor for that reason. Personally, I feel like for me, I would subconsciously like be hurting my own feelings.
I know, me too. I feel like there's a difference between the self-deprecating humor versus like.
But do you know those people that like always poke fun at themselves for like eating too much or never working out or like not being attractive to guys or like not kind of honestly, you know, a good example. I feel like we do it to ourselves about saving money and online shopping. We're always making fun of that. But like, of course, both of us can't have credit cards.
It just makes sense.
Because we're telling each other all the time, we're bad at saving money. We're obsessed with online shopping. We have to go to therapy for shopping, like blah, 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 all this stuff.
Yeah. No, you're so right, Amanda.
But it makes for great podcast content. So we'll address that at a later time.
Maybe we'll have our shared therapist on.
We get Molly Hatley on here. Like, she's like, oh God.
She's like, these two.
We have to talk about Revolve again.
Not Revolve. Okay. I think this is my last one. So I want to end it on comparison is the thief of joy. And I feel like this is such a great quote. Tinks always says it, not to like bring it back to Tinks or anything, but everyone's on their own timelines. Like you don't need to compare yourself to other people. And I feel like social media is so, you know, it's just a highlight reel. So you're seeing so-and-so, Sarah Jane's getting married from high school and Kaylee Beth just had a baby. And then here I am with the poodle on a podcast. Like, it's like you see someone with your dream job and you feel like it's not possible for you because they already have it or something. Exactly. So just don't compare yourself to other people because everyone is on their own path and everyone has their own lives. And so I just think we need to stop comparing ourselves to other people so much. Like, and I'm so guilty of it too. Like on TikTok, I'm like, oh my God, that girl's like so cool. Like,
I do it all the time and it's really something I'm trying to work on. But one of my favorite quotes that I heard, like kind of relevant to this topic, if you see it happening for someone else, that just means it's possible for you too. So if you see someone else like having what you want, like the clothes you want, the lifestyle you want, the type of boyfriend you want, like the job you want, any of those things, it just means that it's out there, and because it exists, you can also have those experiences in your own life.
Yeah.
And when I started thinking about the world like that and less from a scarcity mindset, it really changed my perspective and changed my feelings and like relieved me of a lot of jealousy and envy, because it made me realize like, if she can do it, I can do it. And like one of my biggest lessons, and maybe this is number 24, 25, I don't even know what we're on now, is like, there is enough to go around.
Yeah.
Like there is no like industry that's too saturated. There is no shortage of men. There's no shortage of money. There is no shortage of anything. Like imagine if like Margot Robbie had been like, there's so many actresses out there, I'll probably never be able to be successful, I'm just not gonna try. And like, yes, there are so many successful actresses out there, and especially like in today's day and age, but then she would have never been Barbie. She would have never been in like Wolf of Wall Street or all that other stuff she was in. And like, I just think that like, if you're really meant to do something or be something or have something, that will be, and you just have to like trust your curiosity about it and go for it anyway. Like, I think especially with like influencer stuff too, like people always say like there's too many influencers,
they love to say that.
Yeah, oversaturation, there's too many podcasts. Oh my god, that's a huge one. I remember like somebody commented on whenever I posted my house tour and I was talking about making our back house into a podcast studio eventually, someone was like, well, the world doesn't need another podcast, so I wouldn't do that.
Ruthless.
And I was like, well, I already have one, but thank you, Joe, or user 5692338.
I can't help but laugh.
Yeah, I know. And I'm just kind of like, it's such a good lesson though, because it's like, imagine if, you know,
there's room for you.
Yeah, imagine if that like Bobby girl, whoever, you know, that one that got super popular overnight on her podcast had thought that, or any of the people that have recently
been successful.
Yeah, been successful. So never let that stop you from doing anything.
That's a good one. Is that it? I think I have.
Yeah, that's it. That's all we've learned.
That's it. So stay tuned for 30 things we learned at
like,
30.
What do we think we're going to learn by 30 that we haven't learned already?
I don't know. I feel like it'll be interesting to go back and listen to this.
Are we so naive?
No, we're like so naive.
Why do I feel like that was really like
deep?
It was deep, but like it was
still lighthearted.
It was good. Like,
no,
I'm
like,
not gonna lie. Like that was kind of.
I live by a fire station.
Anyways, I've got to be quiet.
Anyways, I hope you guys picked up some life advice from us. It's kind of funny to me that we're in a position to be giving advice. Like, it kind of cracks me up.
But then you have to think about that everybody who's ever given advice also probably feels that way.
Yeah, exactly.
And I do think a lot of things we're warranted on giving advice on. Like,
oh yeah,
all of this was speaking from our own experience. Anyways, whatever. It's time for us to wrap up. If you enjoyed the Split the Clock talk today, please make sure to like this video, subscribe, leave a comment down below, give us a little, you know, some topic requests, give us some guest ideas. Who do you guys want to see coming up? If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, make sure to give us a 5-star review and leave a review down below. We read every single review. We love reading them and it means so much to us.
Thank you.
And yeah, you can find both Rives and I on social media. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, ideas, or feedback, I'm at It's Amanda DeWitt on TikTok and Instagram, and Rives is at Rives_Lee. The Split the Clock podcast also has a TikTok and Instagram now. We will leave both of those linked down below. If you want to stay up to date on all of the most like recent guests, conversations, we love to poll you guys for stuff. Make sure to follow both of those accounts. And with that being said, I hope everybody has a fabulous day, and we will see you guys here next Tuesday for a new episode. Bye.
Bye.